Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Real Talk Anime Podcast. This is our second time recording the intro, and I'm still laughing at the fucking noise that Cooper just made.
I literally just spat all over my keyboard doing that. What the fuck?
Oh my goodness. I'll explain why the hell we're laughing after I introduce who we're with.
But
which is the same
no
crowd
surprises
as
this time.
Yeah.
Same as usual.
Me, aka Link, aka Anise, aka Cooper, aka I also Cooper, aka Link, Cooper, aka Brooke, and Corbett, aka Carter.
Hello.
Not
We're not quarter this time.
Yeah, so basically we just did like another recording, and we realized that one of us wasn't even recording, Lamau.
Yeah, literally the guy who's recording the screens and everything.
Yeah, good meme. But anyway, and you know, we do like this thing every time because we want to edit the episodes so that all of our audio is like our own original audio with our own like filters that we're recording with and stuff. So we send each other the files, which means that one guy is kind of like the master kind of person, and they're the person who's going to edit it. Usually we do like
the
a
guy
collab.
who hates their life.
Yeah.
For the next like 2 hours.
Yeah,
and it's never me. Let's go.
Yeah, and it's never Carter.
Why is it never Carter?
Because
I remember
why.
why.
Editing for his own YouTube.
The division of labor, because Carter has to make the thumbnail.
Yeah, exactly.
And I do make the thumbnail.
No, but basically, I remember at the start, right, when we were like planning the podcast, we were like, "Hey, okay." So Carter asked, he's like, "Okay, if we're gonna do this, who's gonna be doing the editing? You know, who's gonna do like all the editing work and whatever, uploading takes some time, right?" And he's like, "I don't know if I want to commit, right? If I have my YouTube channel and
if I'm about to like edit for 2 channels,
because then you're basically like running 2 channels, right? Essentially.
Yeah, kind of.
And then I was like, okay, that's actually pretty fair. So I said I would do it. And then I did it for like a while. And then at one point, after like the first like 4 months or whatever, you were like, Cooper, you were like, I wanna help too. It's like, okay, nice. But then since Carter's like the only one who can really make thumbnails, or at least like good ones.
Let's go.
Yeah, he just does that. But those are pretty fast, I think.
Yeah, they don't take that long.
Yeah,
I kind of play them up to pretend I do more than I actually do, but they look nice.
I'm sorry for diverting the conversation here. This guy on my street is balling, and he just completely whiffed the ball like entirely over the net, and it landed on his brother's head, who's sitting in the chair.
Oh no!
Let's go.
Was it like a little kid?
No, they're like teenagers or something.
All right, nice.
No, he's fine.
At least he doesn't have like permanent brain damage.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's not like the baby in the casket, and he literally has like a deformed face now.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Or that guy from To Your Eternity, after the log fell on his head.
Oh, damn.
Only seasonal watchers know.
Let's go.
I don't even know what we were saying. Oh, we were talking about the clap. The clap. Yeah. So we do this clap to sync up our audio. Do the noise.
I did a sk this time instead of the clap because the clap didn't work for some reason.
Yeah. Discord is like kind of bad sometimes. It doesn't pick up noises if it's like too loud or like it peaks too hard or something like that. I guess that's a good thing though.
Yeah, it's background noise. That's what that is.
Yeah, it's probably like noise suppression or something. But anyway, So like, so we had to improvise, and Cooper just made a weird ass snake or noise or something, like a rattlesnake.
Yeah, literally, I'm like a Harry Potter tongue language or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Tongue language.
That stuff.
Yeah.
Serpent tongue, whatever it was.
Yeah, you just like unlocked a memory in my brain.
Yeah, that's like a 7-year-old memory holding.
Yeah. I don't think I've even said what the topic today is. Today's topic is underrated anime. Top 10 underrated shows you should go watch right now.
Right now, guys.
Yeah.
Stop watching the podcast. Just go watch them right now.
Forget the podcast. We don't need views. We don't get any anyway. Just go watch. Just go watch these shows.
That is depressing.
If you're listening to this and you're like giving birth or something, I'm sorry. Just like put that on pause. Just pull up these anime. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Put it on.
The baby can wait.
Fuck the baby. Just watch the shows. Okay. And the shows that we picked out are kind of like underrated, but not necessarily so underrated. Some of them are like really like unheard of, but like most of them are just like below, not directly below shows like Attack on Titan and Naruto and whatever, but more like below shows like Made in Abyss and like I don't know.
Yeah, so we're not gonna have you scrolling to the back of Mel.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like
Yeah, it's not. We're not like the back of Mal, but we're also like not too close to the top of Mal. Some of them are though. Not gonna lie. Yeah, a lot of good shows that don't have a huge following, but are still well known. And so yeah, I guess we can just get started, Carter. If you want to start with yours.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Let's start with, I guess, Somali and the Forest Spirit. That was like a seasonal from winter 2020. That was like literally. Was that last season? That was.
I think it was last year, right?
Last year.
It was not last. It was not the big winter season. It was the one before that, I think.
Right, because this was winter 2021 that just passed, right? So yeah, that was the year before that, and I mean, it's like just wholesome, to be honest. Well, I mean, kind of for most of it until like the end, but you know, until that point, it's like really wholesome and like, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. It's about this little girl who's a human in like this world of like, you know, monsters and stuff. It kind of reminds you a little bit of like Promised Neverland, in the fact that like if she was discovered to be human, I don't actually remember what would happen, but like bad stuff happens.
Yeah.
So this forest spirit dude, this golem looking, you know, no eyes, nothing, no face looking guy. He basically tries to like escort her to find like humans and like get her back to, you know, safety. So like, yeah, it's basically like a refugee story, and he just like helps her along the way.
It kind of reminds me, like, I've only ever seen, I think I watched the first episode, I don't remember, but I remember seeing the cover art, and the guy reminded me of the demons in the forest that helped the kids in Promised Neverland. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, you remind me of the
like
guy.
that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of parallels to draw between, you know, Promised Neverland and this.
Yeah.
Except for, you know,
the fact that the ending
the farming
was
children. Well,
probably
no,
better,
not really.
The
ending was okay.
Season 2.
Yeah, it was honestly a better watch than season 2.
Yeah, if you watch Promised Neverland season 1 and then instead of binging into season 2, just watch Somali and the
Forest Spirit. Somali and the Forest Spirit. Yeah, just watch that instead, dude. It's just so much better than season 2 of Promised Neverland.
That's the true end of Promised Neverland, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember the art style was good. It had some like good background art. It's like some real nice foresty vibes.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I was
nice.
listening to a podcast somewhere, and I remember hearing like whoever was on that podcast talk about how like it kind of became like a parental figure. Like the guy became a parental figure for the little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it was wholesome in that sense because it was kind of like that show. I forget what that show is. Honestly, I didn't put this in the underrated list, but I'm pretty sure it is an underrated show where it's like that guy who has like a daughter. or whatever.
Sweetness and Lightning.
Yeah.
Or like a Usagi Drop or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was that.
There's a couple of them. Yeah.
I don't know. There's like at least one really good show on Mal in like the top 100 where like there's a dad who like just has his daughter, or like maybe he adopted. I don't know. I don't even know. I just saw the cover art, but I know that like it's like a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of like has that vibe, but maybe a bit more dangerous or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I guess I'll start with my first one. Let's see what I had. Okay. I've mentioned this show on the podcast like a few times, I think, like maybe twice. Nodame Cantabile. Yeah.
Very nice. Very
good.
nice.
Very good.
Nodame Cantabile.
Yep.
Yeah. This show's a music show. Like, you might think of shows like Your Lie in April when you think music, or maybe you'll think about K-On! Or something like that, right? Nodame Cantabile, I think there's a few reasons that I really like that. One, it's just a good love story. It's a good romance. And it's pretty wholesome, and it's a different vibe from other ones because the characters in question, like in the romance and everything, are a lot older. Like they're like probably like in their mid-20s, right? Like they're like university students, but they go to like music college or whatever, and they're like upper years and like all that stuff. And so it's like, I guess you could say it's like it's still like funny and a rom-com at times, but it's more focused on the romance and like the drama piece of like, I mean, music is a pretty dramatic subject, I guess, right? But anyway, like the show has 3 seasons, and it's definitely best in the first season, but it's still really, really good throughout the others. Like, I didn't feel like it fell off, kind of like a lot of shows do in their second seasons and so on. But like, but yeah, it's again wholesome, funny. I'm someone who really likes music. By the time I finished watching that, it was like, oh man, I gotta learn piano now. Kind of like after you watch Haikyuu, you want to learn, you want to be active and whatever, and you want to like do sports.
You get motivated for like a day.
Yeah, exactly. Like I learned how to play like a song on the piano. I learned how to play Giorno's theme on the piano.
Let's go.
Nice.
After watching Nodame Cantabile, and then I was like, okay, nice. and then I kind of just dropped the piano. But like yeah,
on the floor.
Yeah, it's super cool. And also I think, I mean, I don't know exactly who our viewers are, like what the demographic is and whatnot, but like for us, right, like we're university students, and
yeah,
I think high school shows are still like really good, obviously, and stuff, but like when I watch a university show, which there aren't that many, it feels more real, you know. It feels a lot more relatable, kind of like, you know, you're in middle school or high school and you can relate a lot to those middle and high school characters in all those shows, right? And so many shows are based around that, like that like age like time in a kid's life, that like like that it kind of just like works out that most of these shows are like kind of relatable in a sense, or at least there's like characters that are in a similar age as you. But then you get to college and there's like 4 college shows total. Like it's like there's like what's that one called? Golden Time. There's Golden Time. There's Nodame Cantabile. There's this one that I haven't watched about like some art students and stuff. And then there's like I think one other college show that's like known.
Well, there's some shows that are like based, like when you're in your early 20s, based in period, but but also like based in like the early 20s of like characters' lives, not necessarily like college, but like, you know, like that age also counts, I think.
Like early adulthood, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think that's still really good. But yeah, like the whole like seeing the university life though, right, is something that like you would see a lot if you're a high schooler watching high school life in a lot of other shows, but then university you don't really get that. So
what about Rent a Girlfriend? That was university.
Oh yeah,
that one's university, but like I don't even know if anyone in that show takes classes, man. Like it's hinted at, but like, let's be honest.
True. You see them on campus like 3 times, but they're never actually in class. They're just walking around with their friends.
Yeah.
Japan college be like.
Wow.
Got him. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that's my recommendation. It's a really good one. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
All right, Cooper.
I don't really have I don't have my list in front of me because I'm recording. So
your first one was Nana.
Oh yeah, Nana. So basically, Nana, from the cover art, you'd think that perhaps it's gonna be like maybe like a lesbian love story or something like that. It is not. So don't get your hopes up for that kind of stuff if that's what you want to watch. It's actually the tale of 2 really close friends, both named Nana, who just both happen to move to Tokyo at the same time.
Oh, damn.
And both happen to end up living in the exact same apartment same like as roommates.
Sus.
Oh shit. Sus.
Yeah. One of them is like this hard rocker kind of grunge aesthetic girl.
Yeah.
Who's in a band that's just starting to like kick off and become really popular.
Let's go.
And the other is just like this girl who
okay.
She's kind of like the definition of like basically like someone who like needs an SO to like justify their life.
Okay. So she's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, she kind of just like doesn't really have a personality.
I mean, she has a personality, but she like always has to be dating someone.
Oh, okay. That's like
and like
thing.
She's like really interested in guys, and like it's like a big part of her life. So so basically, it kind of just follows like as the one Nana's band gets bigger and bigger, and like they get involved with like cool things. The other Nana sort of like tags along and like, you know, like gets to meet everyone in their band and gets to meet everyone in like the music society, and then just like big drama stuff happens. Like people get like pregnant, and like there's like people cheating on other people.
Oh wow,
damn.
There's like, yeah, it's like goddamn. So big drama. It's like really spicy drama.
Okay.
The art style is a little weird, but
isn't it like an older show? I think.
Yeah, it's something like early 2000s.
Yeah, okay.
Like everybody has really big foreheads for some reason.
That is like
they have like the Code Geass long leg syndrome too, and long skinny legs.
Yeah.
And but I think it's overall it's a really good watch. It doesn't have a proper ending, but it ends satisfyingly enough that I didn't want to look up what happens next. So
okay.
Damn, I might actually watch it now.
Might have to slap that on my endless to watch list.
Yeah, I mean, I've always seen Nana, right? Like you always see it recommended places. I've seen it on my anime list. I've seen it people talk about it. I think you mentioned it to me before too, and you told me, yeah, it's not a lesbian love story. So I know you're not into that stuff. You can go watch it. and so I was like, oh, okay, cool. But like, still never really. It's been one of those shows that's kind of just been sitting around. But now that you tell me more about it, actually kind of interested.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little sad because like the spicy drama is like on overload, and it's like, damn, that's like kind of depressing. If that happened to me, I would probably like just be like really sad. I don't know.
Yeah. Nice. All right.
But yeah, definitely go watch that.
All right, cool. Carter, round 2.
Well, we could go round 2, or do we have like Cooper's endless list of like 20 things? Do we want to put a second one?
Bullet through Cooper's
I'll do that
after we all do our round 3.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
So my second one would be Ajin, which was sort of like if you don't like the 3D anime aesthetic, then you just don't watch it, I guess, because like the entire thing is literally 3D anime.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look great because it feels like it would be like one of the early
like
3D ones.
Time, you know?
Yeah, it is CG the whole time. That's why it might turn you off. But like the story is great. Like I love the main character a lot.
Me too.
And like the entire like the world building behind the like the demi-humans, which are like these guys who can like basically summon they basically summon like stands, right? but like not really. They kind of have stands, but they're like these weird shadow creatures and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know, JoJo fans go watch it,
but like stand users can't detect stand users really, like they just like exist.
Yeah, they don't know each other exists, I don't think, until like, obviously they bring out like their dark shadow creatures stand and they like fight each other, and the stands are invisible to normal people, I think. So yeah, basically really crazy creepy stuff happens. Like human experimentation, dark stuff. It's but it's a good show.
It's really good.
Somewhat gory, lots of action, and a great story, so I would recommend it.
I watched season 1. I don't know why I never got to watching the next season.
Was there
how many seasons are there? Are there 2 seasons now?
I think there are 3.
Wait, really?
Maybe
I did watch all of it. I forget.
But the last one ends in like this like cliffhanger way that. No, sorry, there are 2, and there's a movie. That's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I definitely.
But the movie is just like
I watched the 2 seasons.
I think the movie's just like a recap. I don't even think it's like a.
Damn, I have to look into that now. I don't know if I actually finished Ajin. I thought I did.
Yeah, I was hoping for a 3rd season because like the ending of season 2 sort of really felt like 3rd season time, and then it never happened. So.
Rip.
Yeah, I mean it's more recent though, isn't it? Like isn't it like 2018 or something like that?
2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too late. We can definitely still get one.
The main character is a doctor. He spends his first episode studying for like his entrance exam or something for uni. So, if you're a doctor,
wait, really?
Maybe you'll relate to the main character. Yeah.
Did that
He's like studying biology or something. I swear.
Yeah,
like was he a high school student?
The main character, he was like studying to become a doctor. Yeah, and then he gets hit. Maybe I don't know, but then he gets hit by a truck.
Turned upside down.
Yeah, because like he got run over by a car, but then he lived, right?
Yeah, he started regenerating, and he had like that black dust around him because he was like a demi-human.
Yeah, then everyone's like, "Oh shit," because everyone knew Ajin existed, right? Like they knew they.
Yeah,
existed.
by that point.
Yeah, but they hate Ajin.
Yeah, so they want to kill them, or they don't want to kill them. They want to experiment on them, right?
Yeah, because they're immortal; they can't die. That's why he was able to regenerate.
Figure out the secret to immortality.
Yep.
Damn, nice, classic greedy government story.
Let's go. Good stuff.
Yeah, that is.
It's kind of like the Remember like season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul near the end where Kaneki was getting tortured by getting his nails cut off and stuff over and over again?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like those episodes, there's definitely stuff for you to enjoy.
Yeah, if you're actually just a sadist, then you will enjoy this show.
If you like,
if you dabble in a little bit of casual torture and the likes, there might be something for you to.
Yeah, you might find interest in the show, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. No, we definitely all recommend this one. It's a solid show. It's I didn't think that. I mean, there were a few things obviously where like the 3D thing is kind of like, oh man, it maybe would have been better in just normal animation, but whatever. Like you get used to it, and eventually it's just you care more about the plot and all the action going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool.
If you survived season 4, the final season of Attack on Titan, with the CG there, then you will probably appreciate Ajin.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Basically, Mappa haters don't watch the show.
Yeah, Mappa haters just don't watch the show.
Yeah.
All right, my round 2 is a show called GTO, aka Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
Nah, but actually, it's Great Teacher Onizuka.
And it's a great show.
Yeah, it is a great show, as the name of the teacher implies. He is great, and so is his show. And
he's a bit of a perv, though. Honestly,
yeah. Basically, like the situation of the show. It's a comedy, and essentially, it's just this guy who's like kind of like a retired Yakuza member, right? Like he's still very young, obviously, but like he was in his prime, right? Kind of think akin to like The Way of the House Husband, right? Like kind of like that guy, where you have this guy who was a scary person in the Yakuza, was pretty like high up. He was known around the streets, you know, and people are scared of him in the Yakuza. Like the small fry will not fight that guy. But basically, he decides, I'm not about that life. Instead, I'm gonna go become a teacher. I'm gonna find a real job. So he finds a job as a teacher at a school, and obviously he doesn't have the qualifications whatsoever. But yeah, but he has a lot of life experience from being in the mafia. Right?
Yeah, the principal finds something in this guy that he just thinks will make him
a good teacher,
like a good teacher,
a good life lesson teacher. Yeah,
but okay.
Yeah, and so like obviously he comes in and everyone kind of like disrespects him, and he's like, damn, like they don't know about his past really, but like they can tell that he has dyed hair, he has the tattoos probably, like all sorts of stuff, right? Like, but eventually, slowly but surely, they start to gain respect from him due to like certain things that he does, or like he'll get really invested in their personal lives because he really actually cares about the kids, and stuff like that. Because like he's a good person, just because he was in the mafia doesn't mean he wasn't. But it's just that he was in the mafia and he had to.
Well, yeah, he's like a good person at heart, but not like a traditionally good person.
Oh yeah.
So he's a great teacher for all the wrong reasons.
He's like an anti-hero kind of.
Yeah. So like if he's like in like the first or second episode or something, there's like these girls that are bullying this one girl, and it's like a big problem. Oof. And so instead of like I don't know, like talking to them or like doing something to fix the problem that like I don't know, like you'd expect a teacher to do, he kidnaps them.
What the fuck?
And like ties them up in their underwear and like and like draws stuff on them and then like takes pictures and is like, yeah, I'm humiliating you, and if you don't stop bullying, then I'll share these pictures. And they're like,
what the
fuck? Like literally horrible, right? That's literally
like pretty terrible.
So
this is illegal.
Yeah, but it fixes the problem.
But it fixes the problem, and then everyone's friends at the end.
Yeah, everybody gains respect for him for being like hard ass and like fixing problems.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what it kind of sounds like? It kind of sounds like you might have like your parents who are like, yeah, back when I was in school, if you didn't I had this teacher and he was like, yeah, he was a hard ass. Like if you didn't like blink 3 times and say hi to him when you walked in, he would slap you with a ruler, right? Except extremely the extreme version of that, It's like,
except he kidnaps you and humiliates someone, you.
He would kidnap you and then obtain child pornography. And then, and then, like blackmail you with it for you to stop.
That is so.
I mean, also the reason he wanted to become a high school teacher is so he could like look at high school girls and then maybe get a romance with one of the teachers.
Okay, yeah, maybe I talked him up a bit too much there. Like he's definitely not actually like a good person.
Yeah, but he's a great teacher. He's great teacher Onizuka.
Yeah, and so that's the comedy, right? It's a situation you find yourself in where there's this guy who's ultimately producing results, but his methods are questionable.
Yeah, and like they give him the worst class in the entire school, like literally like class E, like the rowdiest.
You know how like they always do, like how they like it was kind of a meme in itself. This is another funny thing I enjoy about the show. Everything is a meme in this show, right? Like like in a normal high school show or whatever, if they want to like portray like kind of like the shitter class, they'll do like C or D, right? Maybe C usually.
Yeah.
And then in this show, it's like class F or something. Like they gave him class F. Like they really want to emphasize that they gave him the shittiest class, that like really like the stupidest kids, or at least the worst exam takers, I guess. But they're all delinquents and they're all like, all that. And so it's like, it's a perfect crowd.
Basically, he kind of just like fits in with those people, and he like the end goal of the show is for him to gain the respect of everyone at the school, and especially everyone in that class.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a really good show. Yeah. I mean, we told you quite a bit about it just now, but it's super funny. Like, it's actually hilarious. Mm-hmm. I think there's like 37 episodes or something, so there's quite a bit to watch. And the good thing about it is that there isn't like a concrete plot line. I mean things like progress, right? Like things are like if a kid gains respect for the guy in episode 4, then in episode 7, obviously the kid's still gonna have respect for him, and like he's gonna like whatever. That's just gonna continue. There is like some sort of form of continuity, but every episode or like I don't know if it's every episode or every like few episodes, but like it's kind of like
there's like mini arcs.
Yeah, there's like arcs that are like mini arcs and like a bunch of side stories and stuff. Because ultimately, like Cooper said, it's kind of like almost like a case study where every single arc is like trying to gain respect of a different crowd or a different person specifically. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really good, really funny. It's a perfect length, I'd say, for a show like that, and you don't have to binge it either. You can watch it.
Yeah, and you don't even really have to watch the whole thing to get everything. Yeah. You want to? I only watched like 25 episodes or something.
Yeah, I watched like the first like 15 or like 18 episodes or something as well.
So
maybe he actually becomes a good person by the end. Who knows?
I think like I remember that he improved slightly as a person, mm-hmm. but he's still definitely a big perv and still had some questionable ways of doing things. So I'm not going to make the mistake of saying that he was a good person again. Yeah, he's a good person, and then Cooper goes on to say that he literally kidnapped children.
Yeah.
How does that make me look, Cooper?
I don't know, man. But
exposed.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Next show, Cooper, is Bokurano.
Oh, Bokurano is so good, but it's like mecha, so maybe it's not as good as you might want to.
Yeah. The Real Talk Anime podcast, we hate mecha watchers.
Yeah, literally. If you're a mecha watcher, you can get over our podcast. For real.
You can click off this video.
Unless you want to watch Bokurano, because that's what I'm talking about right now.
There you go.
Yep.
And I think I've talked about this a couple of times before on the podcast. But basically, it's 25 episodes long. And it's kind of a deconstruction of the whole mecha genre, kind of like Evangelion was, but in a different way. Not so much focused on the mecha pilot, piloting itself, and more focused on like the life stories of the people who ride the mecha. And so I'm gonna have to give one spoiler for the show, because it kind of just defines the entire structure from then on, after like episode like 2 or 3 or something. So these kids that ride the mecha to defend the planet from the like invasion of basically like the equivalent of like the angels in Evangelion. Every time they ride it, they die. So this group of kids, like every week or something, one of them is chosen to sacrifice their life to save the world. And so you have to you sort of follow them, like reconciling with their own life and like their mortality. And like, oh, what are they gonna do about like their little siblings that they're gonna leave behind with no family? And but they've got to do it, because if they didn't, then everyone dies. And so that it's kind of like episodic in that way, where you sort of focus on each character and like them coming to terms with the fact that they have to die to save the world.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And at the end of the show, like the last couple of episodes, there's like some big plot twists, and it sort of like changes your perspective on things. On like what right and what wrong actually is, or what these guys were doing, and it's really good. I don't know. So if you like a serious personal drama with like a little bit of like mecha flavor,
yeah, I'm not gonna shit on your show. I'm sure Bokurano is actually really good, and you guys should watch it. But I just want to shit on mecha shows for a second, okay?
Okay.
Because every time we bring up mecha, I just have to do it, right?
Okay, here we go.
What is with mecha shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And always having the blow up, friends dead, explosion rip. You know what I mean? It's like Code Geass. Someone is in the mech. Bam, bam, bam. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew, pew. Bah! And then someone dies. It's like, no, why?
Dude, that's not Bokurano. That's not how they die.
And
they don't die from getting exploded. They die by just like literally just like falling over, and their life is taken from them.
Damn.
Okay, fine.
Like the first guy who dies, this guy, his friend is like, oh, nice job piloting the mech there, dude. And he like taps him on the shoulder, and the guy literally just falls over and like falls off like the top of the mech, which was like 60 feet tall. And everybody thinks that he pushed him off. So it's like drama for the first while because you didn't know that the guy literally just felt dead.
Damn.
Rip.
But yeah, I don't know.
So the mechs are just so big that if you fall, you just die.
Yeah. It's not pew pew explosions.
I guess that's different. Yeah, because I'm thinking about like a season though right now, 86, right? It's a pretty good season though. I'm not caught up, but like
it's really good.
It's like, but like it's the same thing. There's this other like harem mecha show that I watched once. I forget what it was called. Honestly, I don't even remember anymore. But there's this one show, and I think the main girl was blonde, but I don't really remember. And it was like a school of mecha students, and mecha students,
yeah.
And they just like fought in their mechs, and then eventually there was like a world threat and whatever, and then it's pew 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 pew. You know, it was like classic, guns out, whatever. Good one, dude. Very original. And then there's like all these other millions of mecha shows that are all the same thing, and then it's like Transformers, and it's like the same thing.
That's like being like, oh, romance, people loving each other, bro. That's so unoriginally.
No, but romance got flavor. Romance got flavor. You're gonna tell me the mechs have flavor, dude? It's the same robot every time. I can't tell the difference between Bumblebee, the robot from Evangelion, sorry.
Listen, look up Bokurano right now and tell me that robot does not look different from every other robot.
I believe you. I believe you that Bokurano is different. I believe you.
You don't have to be a mecha fan to enjoy that show. I literally,
guys, as a mecha hater, I endorse Cooper's endorsement of Bokurano. I haven't even seen it, but Cooper's taste is just so good, guys. That you just have to
oh my god! My god!
Cooper's just so developed. You know what I mean?
He's got the refined taste for the best mechas.
If you guys ever watched that Giguk video from like I don't know how many years ago, where he talked about like the timeline of an anime fan, and he talked about how like you go from a filthy casual to like an ascended like tasteful individual. That's where Cooper is right now.
I'm not saying I'm not promising that you're gonna like the show if you're not a mecha fan. I'm just saying that it people who are mecha fans aren't gonna find what they like about mecha in this show. It's not about that.
Yeah, because like the mecha is just like it's just like a theme. It's not like the centerpiece. Yeah. It's kind of like how like a university show that we mentioned earlier would like be taking place in university. But ultimately, that isn't the most important detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike shows like Gundam, where like if you changed it from mecha to something else, it would not be Gundam anymore.
Yeah, like for all I care, these kids could literally be going to like play Mario Kart, and every week, the guy who chooses to play Mario Kart dies. Like it would be the same thing.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Except like without the threatening the whole planet thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's actually threatening the whole planet because if he gets 8th place in Mario Kart or below.
It explodes the country.
Yeah. Everyone hacks into the mainframe and like this. Yeah.
The simulation just removes that area of the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. All right, round 3, Carter.
Oh boy. Right. Next we have Sing Yesterday for Me, which was like spring 2020. Was it good? It was like okay, to be honest with you. It's like this kind of romance drama sort of show, slice of life, more about the drama and stuff, about this guy who's like, hey, he just graduated from college, but no one will hire him, so now he's working at a convenience store. Isn't that relatable? Anyway. And then
wow.
Right. And then this random girl named Haru, which is like good character, but like she's 17, so it's weird that like she tries to make an interest or like make a romance with him. So yeah, that part's weird. She's a good character though. But then they like she like really likes him and they meet and stuff. And then main character's old college friend comes back, and then they try to like further their relationship. So it's a little bit of drama and stuff. And to be honest, it's not one of like the best shows ever, but for some reason I kind of liked it. So this is why I put it on here.
Yeah, I think it's a nice. It's a short show. It's like 11 episodes or 12 episodes.
Yeah, it's one season.
And it's a nice little. I don't really know because I mean those shows are so short. God, that's like she sells seashells. Those shows are so short.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, that like you can kind of like just get through them. If that was like a 50 episode show or maybe even 2 seasons, maybe even 24, I don't know if I would have watched the whole thing. But the fact that it was just a season, short and sweet, I had a few issues with it. The girl that I like didn't win, but it's okay.
Yeah, rip this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Carter. I'm not a pedophile, so.
Bruh.
I'm sorry, Cooper did it to me earlier. So
Bro, they were so close too. Oh my god.
Yeah, they were so
they were
close.
Really close though.
They're so close to.
I remember
not
like
setting
one
the
of the
17-year-old up with a 24-year-old.
There was one episode where like it seemed like they were literally about to like go back to her apartment and smash or something, and like we were like typing in the chat after that. We were like, "Boys, like holy shit,
it's going
happening."
down."
The legendary sex scene.
Yeah, and then next week comes along, and it's just like, actually, never mind. I'm kind of tired. And then he ends up with the 17-year-old. So
yeah,
a good show though. The drama is there.
The drama is definitely
the ending
there.
Was whatever. Some people are happy with it. Some people didn't really care.
I'm like mid on it. I don't really care about the ending, to be honest.
The theming was good. It's like cool that it's based off of like a university grad who can't find work.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. Like it goes back to that thing I mentioned earlier with Nodame Cantabile, where it's like, yeah, it's kind of closer to at least us three, where when it comes to like the audience, right? Like, I mean, hopefully we don't have to work at convenience stores when we graduate instead of finding jobs in our fields. But I can see it though. Like
it happens.
It happens, and you know people that it's happened to, and maybe like for summer jobs and stuff like that, it happens sometimes too, where it's like, oh, you want to find like an internship in your field? Oh, JK, you work at Walmart instead.
Yeah, too bad. Go work at McDonald's for the rest of your life.
Yeah, like that happens all the time. So yeah, it's a lot more fitting in terms of like the theme. I really like the art style actually. I don't know why that one sticks out to me, but I like the art style of that show a lot.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like the art style, like the backdrops and stuff.
Yeah,
I found that they were like really well done.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty decent show. Like it's probably rated like a high 7 on Mal, or maybe an 8.
No, it's like a 6.9.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No way.
It's like okay. I feel like it deserves a little bit better, but like not that much better. I feel like it's like maybe 7.2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somewhere around that range.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Damn. I guess I like it more than the average person, but yeah, it's good.
What does that say about you, Anis?
All right. So for my next show, I chose Spice and Wolf. Okay, guys, I know that this show is not actually that underrated. Like a lot of people know Spice and Wolf, but I don't know. For me, this is an underrated show because I know that. Okay, I know that I'm an idiot for saying that because like underrated is
among our friends. Not very many people have seen it.
Exactly.
So like, from our isolated slice of experience, our biased perspective, this is an underrated show.
And one of the reasons I picked this because for the longest time, Cooper's telling me, dude, like you like the medieval kind of like merchant vibes, you know, all that stuff. You like that time period. You're kind of like an isekai watcher sometimes, you know.
Yeah, a little bit of a furry. What can I say?
No, I almost said yeah too. But yeah, and it's like you know, you like the romance, you like the yeah. Okay, cool. Just watch it. I'm like, dude, I don't want to get into macroeconomics and like, you know, I don't want to, dude, no. And I was wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually good.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Just my elevated tastes once again coming in clutch.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Exactly. And you know, I'm sure Cooper knew this because he's just so, you know, he just has that palette, right? But like,
yeah.
It's actually one of those shows that's like most wanted to have like another season. Like it's like up there with No Game No Life. I see people complain about it on the internet all the time. Where they're like, give us another season, give us another season, give us. He's like, dude, you're comparing
so much of the story.
You know,
so much of the story was untold.
Yeah,
in 2 seasons, it covered not even like a quarter of all the stuff that you can read.
Start reading, buddy.
Yeah, so like, and it's really good because I mean, I guess I can tell you guys a bit about what it's about. So essentially, it's like this merchant guy. What was his name? Hans? No, it wasn't Hans. Well, whatever. He's a merchant.
Yeah, and he's got like gray hair. Yeah, and he's a little bit older.
It's old.
Probably
guy.
like in his 30s, I'd say.
He's a boomer.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, he's a traveling merchant. He has aspirations to one day settle down somewhere and open a shop. But like the way that it works is that back in the days, the traveling merchants, or at least in this show, I don't know if it's actually real. You gotta like build your rep. You know, you gotta make enough money, get consistently good ratings from people all around the the country, I guess, or whatever. And then eventually you get enough money from a big deal or something, and you have enough of a reputation to actually just stop traveling and just start a shop somewhere. And so yeah, he's a traveling merchant. He goes and there's this legend of like this wolf who like watches over the people, and like she's kind of like the god of agriculture kind of thing. And yeah, she like controls the crops, and so like every year they like pray to that god or whatever, and then if they have good crops, it's like, oh, she blessed them. And if they have like a bad year for crops, then it's like, oh man, she's mad, we didn't feed her enough or whatever, right? But I think they start kind of like they kind of like pull a we don't want to be religious anymore type thing, right?
Yeah, because they're like, fuck this. Why do we have to depend on this?
Yeah, they're like, we don't really want to depend on this thing. We'd rather just like develop our like our trade systems and figure out better ways to grow our crops instead of praying to God to do it for us.
Which is honestly like kind of a good idea.
Yeah, kind of good on them. So then honestly, I don't even really remember why the wolf girl decided that she wanted to go around with our merchant, but they kind of just
she wants to go back to her home. North.
Because now they don't really need her anymore, right? It's kind of like, hey, so we're advancing, we're getting closer and closer to the Industrial Revolution as the days pass. I mean, we're still far, but like we're getting closer. So as the world and economics and whatever develop, the wolf god doesn't really have a place with the people anymore. So she kind of just decides, I kind of just want to go home. And she's from like some really like northern area where like gods are from or something like that. And so, yeah, she meets the merchant, and the merchant's like, hey, you want to tag along with me? And she's like, yeah, sure. And then, well, actually, it was more like the other way around. It's like, hey, I'm going to tag along with you. And he's like, wait, what? And then she's like, yeah, we can have a romance, though. And he's like,
let's go.
Yeah, I guess.
Nice.
So, like, they slowly grow on each other over the seasons, and she learns more about the people of the world and, like, business and stuff.
Yeah.
And, he learns to become a little more like a personal guy.
Yeah, because he's very like business,
Yeah.
He's kind of like, is stern the right word? Like he's very like.
He's like really serious about business and very not much else.
Yeah, exactly. And so
like
he learns
in episode 1. There's this one girl. Yeah. Episode 1, there's this one girl who's like really simping for him. Who was like his apprentice or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, yo, what if we just like move in together and like we can like put our funds together and start a shop together, maybe settle down.
Literally his dream, right?
He's like, excuse me? No. I am a businessman.
Yeah.
I have aspirations for myself. So excuse me, thank you very much. And it's like, damn.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's really good. We have 2 seasons. We're probably never gonna get another one, but I still have
It's really wholesome watch, It does have like really interesting world building.
Yeah.
When they travel around, you learn a lot about the economics of the world, which is actually more cool than
but I think like the economics are definitely better than you think, but it's not just economics too, because like the situations they find, the situations they find themselves in related to the economics end up with action scenes and like crazy deals and like stuff where it's like, oh shit,
action scenes, like economics involve like
scams and
like scams and like corruption and like government and the church, and it all sort of comes together to make something that's more interesting than some of its parts.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. And again, the romance is super wholesome. Kind of funny that 2 of the 3 shows that I picked in my 3 are romance, but
yeah, and they're also 21 light novels, so
damn,
go ahead, keep reading once you're done the anime, I guess.
I kind of want to rewatch it, even though I watched it less than a year ago. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I should watch it now.
Yeah, you actually should.
Now that
I've
been listening,
and also the opening is a banger.
The opening is a banger.
Yeah, it's so good. Every time I hear it, it just like it opens something within my heart.
Okay. That was really deep for like 10 a.m. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 10 a.m. deep talks of the Real Talk Anime podcast. All right.
And how did that make you feel?
Yeah. All right, Cooper, your 3rd show before the bullet round is Haibane Renmei. I actually have not heard of this one.
Okay. So this one was I'm trying to think of something to relate it to.
All right.
Honestly, I can't really think of much. There's this place. It's like a town.
Okay.
And it's a real town, in the world, but it doubles as a purgatory for these quote unquote angels, which are basically people with some sort of like unsatisfaction with the life that they live.
Gotcha.
So they drop from the sky. No, sorry, they hatch from these eggs, and they live with the rest of the angels, and they literally they grow wings, which is a really painful process that you watch in episode 1.
Oh wow.
And they get like a halo and everything that floats around them.
Yeah.
And they do work for people in the town, and they go around and they just live their lives, but they discover what it was about their lives which was unsatisfactory to them. Yeah, even though they can't remember their past lives, they like some experience happens to them that like makes them feel like they can move on.
Yeah.
And so the people who are left, who are still there, they watch as their friends like disappear into the afterlife and
because they
leave
like
them
find
behind
satisfaction or whatever.
Yeah,
so it's like
leave
Angel
them
Beats
behind
kind
to
of.
try and figure out what's up with their lives. Like, why are they still like not satisfied?
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a melancholic show. But it's really moody. The world building is good.
Gotcha.
The character development is good. It's only like 12 or 13 episodes or something, but it does come to a conclusion. And it's a good watch if you have like 4 hours one day. It's really solid.
So it's like Angel Beats if it was like the last 4 episodes of Angel Beats. Or it's all about like people moving on and like finding satisfaction with their deaths.
Like a post-apocalyptic kind of show.
Yeah. And it's not like Angel Beats because it's not really a comedy.
Angel Beats was a comedy?
Well, yeah, for like the first like 8 episodes, it was just basically comedy.
Damn, I haven't seen it in a while. I don't even remember that.
Yeah, like almost nothing important happens for the first 8 episodes, but it's meant to make you like the characters.
Yeah, I guess it's like a character building.
Yeah, it's kind of like Angel Beats, but like the last 4 episodes, but like the whole show.
Okay, interesting.
But a little bit more slow. It's not as fast paced.
And there isn't like, I'm assuming there isn't like as much action or anything like that. It's like more.
No, it just wants you to settle into the mood and sort of like get in the head of these characters and sort of just like sympathize with them.
Is it kind of like I used this word earlier. I like it. Is it kind of like case studies where it's like character by character, or is it following one character the whole time?
There is a main character. There's a main character.
Cool. I prefer that usually in shows, like most shows.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Do we want to enter the bullet round then?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Hit me.
I'll just list the shows, and then you can give us an elevator pitch for why everyone should watch it. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Next one is Ima Soko ni iru boku. Sorry. Cooper?
I don't remember this one. Can you look it up and tell me what the picture looks like?
I'll tell you the next one first. Then
Okay.
Next one is The Beautiful World, Kino no Tabi.
Okay, Kino no Tabi, The Beautiful World is a show about this guy, with a pistol and a motorbike, and he travels around the world, and just like has life experiences. So like this one episode, he hitches in the back of like a truck with these guys who are stopped in like a blizzard in the middle of the forest, and they're stuck there for a while, and the guy for some reason finds a reason not to trust these guys because he thinks that they're gonna like murder him and like take his stuff.
Yeah.
And so like it turns out that's true, and they did have a plan to murder him and take his stuff.
Oh damn.
So he has to kill these guys. And then he's like, damn, these people that I was just like stuck in a blizzard with for like 2 weeks betrayed me and I murdered them. Now I'm just here in the blizzard by myself. And he's like, damn. And then he just bikes along to his next life experience. And he'll be in like he'll go to like a Coliseum town.
Is it kind of like Golden Boy in a bit? Well, I mean, not the fact that like every episode is like a woman that he's like seducing, but like
like it's kind of like
aspect.
Yeah, it's like that where like every episode or like every couple of episodes, sometimes it's like a mini arc where he stays in a place for a couple of episodes.
Gotcha.
He like basically just like has an experience with like a town or like a group of people, and like for whatever reason he'll have to move on to the next place.
Yeah.
And the more you watch, the more you learn about him and like his past. And like maybe like why he's like like because like you get the sense that he has like some sort of trauma, and like you learn a little bit more about that. No, like from like way before the show even starts. Okay. Like as a kid and stuff.
Yeah. All right, nice. Okay, I looked up what the other show is. I don't know why you wrote it in Japanese in our chat. It's just Now and Then, Here and There.
Okay, Now and Then, Here and There is like a really good isekai show.
Yeah, this is probably one of the best shows that we've mentioned so far today.
Isekai.
Yeah, it's really good. It's short. It's like maybe like 11 or 12 episodes
13,
long.
13 episodes.
It's 13 episodes long. But it's really good. So basically this boy, he's a real like go-getter, like energetic kind of dude with like a good heart.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, one day he climbs onto the top of these smokestacks to talk to this girl who he saw sitting up there, and he's like 100 meters up, and he's just like, yeah, so like tell me about yourself. Like they basically have like a Tinder conversation. And then like out of nowhere, like these people come and they're like, we're taking you back to the other world, and he's like, what is going on? And he jumps in the portal with them, and now he's in a like post-apocalyptic like desert world.
Yeah, where like this government is trying to like colonize everyone.
Yeah, so he's in like he's in like a like Howl's Moving Castle basically, which is like this giant fortress.
He's in like a giant Aincrad. He's in an Aincrad.
Yeah, okay. And it runs on like child slavery.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it does. It actually does.
It does. And like this corrupt like elite is at the top of it, like going around destroying small villages and stealing, like murdering everyone in them, and like stealing their children to work as like slaves.
Yeah.
And so like this boy lives in this like fucked up world now, and he's and there's like this girl with special magical powers or something that like helps it run. And so eventually he finds this out, and like the two of them like try and figure out how to like fix the world.
Yeah, he wants to kind of like be a hero, and he also wants to go back to his home too.
Yeah, and so it's like the one isekai show where he actually tries to go back to his home and ends up doing it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So he saves the broken world. He goes back home, but it's like it has like a sense of like realism in it, and like also like a bunch of really fucked up stuff happens to the people in the show. Yeah. And like a lot of the civilizations, and so like it has like.
Yeah, go ahead.
It has a lot of serious moments with like real emotion, but it has a lot of like cool like action moments because it's also
I was gonna say like
isekai shonen.
Yeah, I was gonna say so it does truly feel like what isekai should be. You know, like it feels like the bonds of the characters and the actual like there isn't like game logic or whatever. Like there isn't like like
it's like real.
Conveniently, like, yeah, it's super real. And yeah, it's just.
Yeah, all the characters are really good. The setting is really immersive, and it's a self-contained story with a really good ending after 13 episodes.
Yep.
And everyone should watch it. It's really good.
Time to add it to my list. Let's go.
Yeah, that one is definitely like a. It's not even. I don't think it's even rated that well on Mal. Like I think it's below an 8.
It's like a 7.6.
Yeah, it's not even rated well.
I don't know why it's
7.6, but like I think that under. I mean, okay, let's be real. We reference Mal a lot, and Mal's great, but like the ratings on there are not all accurate, obviously.
Well, I mean, it's based off of the community's opinion, right? So
yeah, but like, still, I think that everyone who's watched Now and Then, Here and There would think that it's really good. You know, I'd say that it's like an 8 or an 8.5.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Next show, Cooper, is Rainbow.
Yeah. So basically, this is another like kind of serious show.
Yeah.
But it's more about like the bonds with the boys. Because a bunch of post-World War II criminals in Japan get sent to this prison where like there's like really like messed up prison guards and like really like messed up like prison owners.
Yeah, to clarify, and, like, they're like teens, like they're like mostly
they're all
18.
like teenagers.
Yeah,
and so like all these guys they tough it out with the boys and like they grow stronger with the boys, and they have this ultimate goal of somehow getting out of the prison while enduring all this fucked up shit that everyone in the prison puts them through. And like it literally has like a hard rock intro, and it's like, you know, real like serious and stuff. But like watching these people grow as like friends and like make it out, it's really good.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's very much for lack of a better term, like Bros Before Hoes type show.
Yeah.
where it's about the boys. It's really about the all the guys getting to know each other better, and becoming basically brothers essentially, and like the thing about the whole prison thing is like the reason that most of them went to prison was actually not actually that bad. Like it was kind of like petty crime.
Yeah, like kind of like one of them is like they were like starving and homeless and they stole like a little bit of bread or whatever,
for like them and their sibling or something.
Yeah, and now they're in like the slammer.
Yeah, but
kind of deal. So,
but then like
but now they get food every
like,
day. So
literally like mad, like these insane people. Like the doctor is literally, wasn't he literally a very bad guy?
He literally raped somebody.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Well,
yeah. Sorry for like fine. I didn't put a trigger warning there, but
yeah,
it's
he was the doctor was definitely not someone who took care of people, and then the like the prison guards, especially like the head guard or whatever, was like just like a very abusive person, like would like so physically abuse her and like beat people up and stuff.
So kind of actually like warning for some of those things that like if you're sensitive to them, it might be a hard watch.
Yeah, it's definitely not a show for like really young people, but if you are okay with that, then
it makes you like really kind of like feel for everyone in the situation, and gives a sense of like seriousness. I don't know. I think like it tackles some of these issues well.
Yeah, that's true.
For a show.
One thing I will say, I think it's about, I don't remember how many episodes it is, but I believe it's like 20 something episodes. And I'd say that like the first probably like 16 episodes are really, really great. Yeah. And then all the ones after that are still good, but they kind of feel like filler. I mean, spoiler alert, is that they actually get out of the prison at some point in the show.
Yeah, and then life is not as good as they hoped it would be outside of the prison.
Life is not as good, and so like the first arc, I guess you could say, after that is really, really interesting because it's fresh, it's new. You're seeing what life outside of prison is like, and there's a big thing that's happening. But then after that, they kind of get used to life outside. It's still not great, but it's obviously not bad at all. And it just becomes about some of the personal problems that they're facing as they're like reintegrating into society, basically.
Yeah, and there's still some like minor like things that they had to still do together. Like they had to get revenge on the people and like get justice for what like the treatment that they were subjected to.
Yeah, exactly.
Which they do ultimately. So there was still like loose ends to tie up, which they do, but it feels a little bit less dense with like stuff that's actually important.
It's basically just tying up loose ends. It's exactly what you just said. And so it's kind of like just like getting some closure on a lot of stuff, but like you could probably stop after that arc that we talked about earlier, Cooper, like after the one after the prison arc, and then you'd probably not hate it. You'd probably be fine. You wouldn't be missing like a huge amount. Okay, cool. Let's do the next two shows really quickly so that we can quickly list our want to watches, you know?
Or do you want to save that for another episode because we're almost at an hour?
That's true. Yeah. Okay, yeah, just to explain, guys, basically we were going to do also a segment at the end here where we like talked about some shows that we haven't watched but that we really want to watch, and we also had like a list each. But looks like we actually talked quite a bit about the shows that we want to talk about, so we'll just run through the rest of Cooper's long ass list, and and then we'll wrap up. So okay, the next one, there's like three more. No. Yeah, three more. So
three more.
Okay.
There's Spaceball. No, what the hell am I saying? There's Space Brothers.
Space Brothers is so good.
Yeah,
it's kind of not exactly slice of life, but it follows the story of this guy who was a mechanical engineer at this car company.
Yeah,
but his boss was an asshole and like said something like really terrible about his family or something like that.
Damn.
And so he headbutts him. And then gets fired and then blacklisted from a bunch of mechanical engineering companies.
Damn.
And so he's just living at home, and his brother is an astronaut, and the two of them as kids had made this promise to each other. They're both gonna like explore the universe, so I guess like be astronauts. And so he feels like he's like a bum. He feels like he has nothing left for him in life,
so he may as well.
And then the new JAXA astronaut selection campaign starts.
Oh shit.
And he takes a chance on it, and he's like, you know what? I can do this. I believe in myself. And so it follows him as he goes through the process of like astronaut selection.
Mm.
And it's I think it's like 50 or more than 50. Maybe it's like 100 episodes
long. It is 100 episodes long.
It's a fairly long show. Sorry?
It's 100 episodes long.
Damn.
Okay, so 100 episodes, obviously he gets selected, and it follows like his training to become an astronaut too, and you know, his brother's missions in space, and it's partly romance too because he gets this romance with this other girl who's selected in the campaign.
Nice. Wait, so is he the main character? Or does it follow both the brothers?
It follows both the brothers, but he is the main character for sure.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So there's like exciting moments where like some like dangerous stuff happens in space with his brother. It's like really like I don't know. There's just a lot of really good wholesome moments. It's kind of
yeah. I remember when you were watching that. I think you watched that when we were in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember you watching that and kind of like telling me about it while you were watching. Back when you used to watch anime.
Yeah. It makes you want to be an astronaut. It makes you want to like try hard to achieve your goals.
That's good.
Yeah.
I definitely consider that. It's a bit longer, but if you have the time or if you're interested, make sure you guys go check it out. Okay, next is Steam Boy.
All right, Steam Boy is a movie which I watched as a kid, so I don't know if it really holds up, but I liked it just as much as I liked watching a Ghibli movie when I was a kid.
Oh, damn.
So,
okay.
And it's like a steampunk themed show about this boy, the Steam Boy.
Wow.
And his grandpa invented this like infinite steam engine or something.
Oh, damn.
That like has like so much energy that you can produce with steam. And honestly, I'm struggling to remember the plot. But like the government makes this like giant steam mecha fortress thing, and like a war starts, and like there's like an evil steam scientist, and the Steam Boy has to like save the world. And I really don't remember that much about what actually happens in the show, but it's really sick.
Okay.
The steampunk vibes are cool. The plot is is cool, and like some really like neat action set pieces happen.
Yeah.
And it's just a movie, so it's just like an hour and a half long.
It kind of sounds like how like a lot of like Ghibli movies, like if they were a long show, they might not be that interesting. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they're kind of like only like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and during that period they're like kind of like almost like magical in a sense, kind of almost like Disney or something like that.
Yeah, like how would you explain the plot of Howl's Moving Castle?
Yeah, exactly. Like I probably would not watch Howl's Moving Castle if they dragged that on for like 24 episodes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's but if you like steampunk and you like watching anime movies like Ghibli, then give it a shot. If you don't like it, then I don't know. I was a kid when I watched it, but I remember it being good. So
all right, nice. All right, last on the list is Ping Pong the animation.
All right, Ping Pong the animation. Have you seen this, Anis?
I watched the first episode like last week.
Okay.
Was it good though?
I'm going to continue it. I think I will, yeah. So yeah, I think it's good.
It's a show with a really like untraditional and unique animation style, which might turn some people off because it looks a little unlike anything you've ever seen before. But I think that like the abstraction in the art style allows the actual animation, so like watching the ping pong matches, to look really smooth and like really stylized and cool.
Yeah.
So it'll make you feel like ping pong is actually like this super intense sport. When in reality, sometimes watching ping pong might be boring. I don't know. I've never actually watched a real ping pong match.
Sure. I mean, to each their own.
And yeah, it's about this guy who's like a prodigy of ping pong. Yeah. He's so good. And his friend, who's also really good, but he kind of takes like a laissez-faire attitude to it, right?
Is that like when you're like so good, but you don't need to try because you're just so good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But the I can't remember exactly how it goes because I watched a while ago. But one of them with like the natural talent is really good, and the other guy like wants to like compete through hard work.
Yeah.
And it's a show about like sometimes you put in the hard work, but life is just life, and you just have to like accept your place in the world and just like be happy. So it's sometimes would make you feel like, damn, so like, is it pointless? Is like, there's no point in trying at all? And like, that's not the point of the show, but it sort of just like shows you
they like
a different
face those
perspective about
questions
things.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, like so in reality, you do have to face those questions because like in the world, there's always going to be people who are better than you.
Yeah, that's true.
And it helps you tackle those feelings if you ever like think like that.
Damn.
And it's also just a really good show about ping pong. I don't know.
Is that the same show that you told me about, Cooper, like over a year ago or something, where it was like at one point like the ending was kind of weird and like they went back to the guy's house and like something weird happened? I forget, dude.
No.
I remember you telling me about some show where like I think like a teacher or something did something like really stupid or bad to like one of the kids, and then they had to go back to like their house, and then like
I don't remember that,
dude. Oh man, okay, it's probably a different show then. You definitely told me something like that. Yeah. I'm misremembering it, but that's fine. Okay, cool. I mean, I actually do want to watch this show. I think it's pretty short, right?
Yeah, it's like 10 or 11 episodes. It's really good. It's rated highly on Mal too.
It is, yeah. It is a really good show.
It is ranked 63 on Mal somehow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really high up, actually.
Yeah, but like that's the thing, right? Like I think these are rated based just on their overall rating, right? Like
based off of what the community thinks.
Yeah, so like just because a show's in the top 100 in Mal, it doesn't mean that a lot of people have seen it. Just means that the people who have seen it rated highly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like technically, you could have a show that has like there's probably a minimum amount to be on the leaderboards, but like whatever the minimum amount is, let's say like 1,000 people who watched it on Mal, and then they just like they all gave it a 10, and it's just like okay, well.
I mean, there was that time that was it?
Shizuoka Review
Shizuoka hit number one.
Climbed.
Okay,
classic.
All right, well.
Yep, that's all the shows I wanted to bring up.
Yeah,
and you should watch every single one of them. And if you don't all of the next episode of the podcast, then you're banned.
Yeah, sorry, we're just gonna blacklist you. We're gonna soft block you from watching our podcast. Sorry.
Yep. Send you to the Shadow Realm.
Yep. The silent. No, what was it? What was that place from that movie? The sunken place.
Yeah, the sunken place.
The sunken place. All right, cool. Well, I'll do the outro then. Thank you everyone for tuning in for another episode of the Real Talk Anime podcast. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials. That's on Twitter at real_talk_anime or Instagram at realtalkanime without the underscores. Thanks for supporting us. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. It actually helps a lot. The YouTube algorithm is an interesting one, but one thing that's for sure is that the more likes, the more likely it is to be promoted.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And yeah, that's all from us. So thank you for watching or listening, and have a great day. See you, bye.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
See ya.